Good morning. Welcome to the Lake District. It's 6:30 in the morning. Time for another walk with Mr. T. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Lake District. It's Mediterranean. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm just some dude having adventures and fun in the great outdoors. Yeah, it is great. Doing all sorts of new and crazy things for me. Trying things for the first time, routes, challenges, and wild camping. If you saw my last video, that was my first ever attempt at wild camping in Snowdonia, North Wales. And although the camping went well, the weather put a stop to my second day's walking. But as you can see from the intro, it didn't take long for me to come back wild camping again. Another successful trip in this beautiful part of the world. Just look at it. It is stunning. Camped up there with these views. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to be using wild camping more as a utility, a tool, you know, to be used like today, starting off in the hills and going all day, so that I don't have to worry about getting back to the car or driving home. I just camp out where I am. I may even camp out where I did last night. It's an absolutely beautiful spot. But today, the purpose of today's walk is a comparison. My channel was based on the premise that I was training for the National Three Peaks Challenge and then doing it, which I did. But then it's like, after that, what do I do? And I announced I was going to do 3 things, and I just realised I've called this a crazy walk with Mr. T. It's kind of 3 peaks training as well. Anyway, of the 3 things I said I'd do, I said I was going to do the 3 peaks again, but in the winter, not in 24 hours, just because of daylight and weather and stuff like that. If you've watched my channel recently, you'll notice that not only did I not do the 3 peaks in winter, I haven't really been doing much over the winter anyway, but kind of explained that on my last video. But that's good. I have to take this off now, I think, but that's good. So I didn't do it last year, because it would have been great, but I didn't get to scout out the CMD arete on Ben Nevis, which is the route I was hoping to take. And I'm on the corridor route now, which I've already done, and you can go back and watch that video, see how I got on with it. But there was another route I wanted to try out here at Scafell Pike for the day, and that was the Lord's Rake Mickledore route, up towards Scafell and then back to Scafell Pike via Mickledore after the Lord's Rake. So today I'm going to compare the 2 back to back. So I camped out just pretty much by the start of the corridor route, which I've started now. I'm going to go up to Scafell Pike summit and then go down towards the zigzags, and there's a cut across towards the Lord's Rake, and I'll have a look and see what that route's like for the winter ascent and compared to. So that's the point of the video today. It's 8:30 in the morning. You've seen the corridor route before. For my sake, I'm going to gauge it right now in the next couple of hours, and I'll see you at the top of Scafell Pike. Fighter jets again. I didn't see him. I'm in the wrong valley. Amazing. What a sound. What a sound. Fourth time up to the summit. It's the first time I get to see this view. It's either been cloudy or dark or both. So second time around on the corridor route, it's all right. Although today I started about halfway up, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, nice challenging walk. Still be quite happy to do that in the winter. But just getting an eye for what's around here. I'm going to stop here for a bit of lunch, even though it's only 20 past 10. Just eyeing up the latter part of my route today. Scafell and Lord's Rake. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but it's one of those two gullies, I'm sure. Go down the tourist route towards the zigzags and then cut across and then up and along before coming back this way. And then, well, it's playtime. Go and find somewhere to play if I've got the energy, or just go and find a nice campsite and chill. But yeah, corridor route, still a good one, but now it's time to go and compare it to Lord's Rake and Nickel. Top of the stairs, start of the scree. I've just identified where I think the entrance to the gully is. I think it's, I'm not sure I can see it, it's there, here somewhere. So I've got to climb up all this scree. It's not going to be pleasant, but then the start of the scramble should be at the top. Whew, that was a climb. Before I show you, although I just did, that is effort within itself. It looks longer than that, but yeah, Lord's Rake, it looks all right. Not as steep as I thought, although I'm not going to care halfway up because I'm going to be dead on my feet, but it looks fun. Some loose rock, just like here really, just not as narrow, so the approach looks pretty much the same, just not down a gully as such, whereas Lord's Rake is a gully with the same sort of stuff, a few larger rocks and some very precariously just sort of rested in places, especially that one right up there at the top, just sitting there ominously poking itself from around the corner. Of course I can't see what's around the corner. There might be more looking at the map. It looks pretty straight. Yeah, it's pretty straight. I think what you see is what you get, maybe a little bit over the top there, but yeah, well, there's no point in me talking anymore about it. I'm just going to get on and see what it's like. Probably about a third of the way up that I can see, just guessing. It's quite fun, I'm enjoying it. Very loose, very unstable, very, very precarious, especially with the weight, but it's alright, it's manageable actually, it's really good fun. Right, I got to a nice easy-ish bit, so I think I can afford to sort of keep one hand free. I just keep this hand free. I'm climbing to the right of the gully, which is giving me a few decent hand grips. Just to give you an idea of what it's like underfoot, how steep it is coming up here. It is steep. That boulder that's just resting there. right in front of my face. So I want to get past this now. But it doesn't look like there's much more to go. I made it to the top of the gully. Last bit of a proper climb up some rocks. Pretty fun, but tricky with the pack. Just down here there seems to be another route. Don't know if that's a better one, different one, quicker, dangerous. But for me, coming over the little rocks at the end of the gully, it's always nice to see more path. So I'll just carry on. Well, that's it, Lord to Rake done. And it was twice as long as I imagined, and from when I first saw it, it was more than twice as long as that. That first part is the bit you see, the impressive bit that starts you off. And then beyond it, it goes down and back up. It's quite undulating. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to show you that. It would have been good, but I had to put the camera away and use both hands and feet for the last bit because it was pretty sketchy. Yeah, that very last climb just over here, scree, very, very loose, very steep. I don't know if I want to do it in the winter. Well, I do want to do it in the winter. I don't know if it's a good idea. Honestly, if anyone's ever done it, it'd be really good to know how you managed it, what kind of conditions you went up in, and how you felt doing it. Whether you felt confident or it was like, don't want to do that again. It's one thing to do something and say, yeah, I've done it. But all the while you're going, I don't have a good feeling about this and I wouldn't do it again, you know. Anyway, that summit, Scafell Pike again, unless I skirt around it. I don't have to summit it again. After I get to the top of there, that's kind of like the final destination of my route today. And then I just make my way back to camp and set up and go to bed because I'm knackered. I am absolutely knackered. But it's been such a beautiful day here in the lakes. I've seen more of it than I've ever seen in the last 3 trips. And it's just stunning here. Absolutely stunning. Scafell. Not to be confused with Scafell Pike. I have referred to Scafell Pike as Scafell sometimes, you know, shortening it, nickname type thing. But they are 2 different summits. And despite the fact that I've been here 4 times now to the lakes, this is the 2nd summit I've summited here. Scafell Pike obviously being 4 times now, and then going back on it. But yeah, Scafell. I'm going down here, Mickledore route, and then back up to the summit, and then back over to my campsite for tonight, which I think I'll go to the same one. But that's it. I'll see you back up at the campsite after I've gone down and up and down again for my sign off and my thoughts on the comparison between the 2 routes. See you in a bit. So once the camera went away after that last clip, that was pretty much it for the rest of my my adventure for that day. I made my way round, down and back up the back of the mountain towards Mickledore, by which time I'd absolutely spent any energy reserves I'd had. I had one more sort of bar of chocolate energy food to eat, which I'd eaten other than dinner later on. And yeah, it took me an absolute age to get up to the top and over Scafell Pike back onto the corridor route. So I decided that I wasn't going to go all the way back to the campsite. I had to stop. So once I'd found an appropriate or suitable place with some decent water, I stopped there, and that was it for the day. Because it didn't help, I was carrying about 17-18 kilos on my back all day. I mean, the route was only about 10k. With all the elevation and hiking about, just generally it was a big drain on my energy reserves. And as I said, I'm not used to carrying heavy weights, which made me think, you know, am I doing something wrong here? And I thought, how can I? I've got all this stuff I feel I need. I've got to camp and I want to hike. I don't just want to camp, I want to walk about. So I thought, how do people do it? How do people go wild camping and camping out and go hiking all day? So of course there's this whole concept of ultralight backpacking, which I've come across now. Hiking up the terrain is too much of a challenge. I'm not in the army, it's not my job, it's not my living. I only do this once in a while. I can't do this every other day back at home to condition myself. So I've got to be realistic and I've got to enjoy it. You know, I'm not here to prove anything. I'm just here to have a good time out in the hills, do a bit of wild camping and hiking. Going lightweight, I think, is the way to go. So I'll definitely be doing a dedicated video on that because I like the idea of trying to find ways to shed weight and get it like towards sort of half that in the future. So watch out for that one. As for the purpose of the video itself, the corridor route, Law's Rake, Mickledore, I think they're both actually really good routes. In the winter, I think they'd both prove to be quite exciting and enjoyable, to be fair. So at this stage, with that in mind, I think I would like to do both, and I will probably get round to doing both when I get up there in the winter on the same trip, probably. So this is as good a place as any to end the video today. I'm going to just leave you with some images of my 2 campsites over the last couple of days. Decide what to do and where to go next, and hopefully catch you then. Laters.